Good morning, all of you. Today I am going to give a lecture 2 on chapter unit 2, MEMS and nanotechnology. And in the previous lecture, we discussed about etching and how etching is used in a fabrication process. And we also discussed about wet etching and dry etching. So these all the process we are discussing. Today we are discussing about oxidations. What is oxidations? How it will impact on a fabrication process, what is the use of fabrications, how many types of oxidation. We are discussed about wet oxidation or dry oxidations also. So we are going to start. So oxidation in a fabrication process, they basically it use a thermal oxidation and the silicon and silicon dioxide interfacing. So the basically we oxidation with the silicon wafer. When the silicon wafer is mixed with the oxygen, then it will be create some a layer. So it will create layer like it will create like a, it's called like a dielectric layer which behave as a insulator. This insulator layer will be try to don't contact with the charge carrier present in the silicon and the charge carrier which are also present in the upper portion of the any metals which are directly not contact to each other. So oxidation is the process which we are using to create some dielectric layer. So formation of oxidation layer on a wafer, high temperature and oxygen to environment, they are requirements. The two things where we require, like one is a high temperature and oxygen environment. The use of silicon dioxide layer in a silicon wafer device, surface pacification, Doppler barriers, surface dielectric and device dielectric. I already told you the why we are use silicon dioxide layer, because it provides some insulator layer, dielectric layer to separate the silicon part and the metal part. So that's we need to create this insulator. So what are the properties of the thermally grown silicon dioxide? It is amorphous, stable reproduces and conformal silicon dioxide growth. Melting point is 1700 degrees Celsius. Density 2.21 gram per centimeter cube. Crystalline, it is a crystalline silicon dioxide quartz, and which density is 2.65 gram centimeter cube. Atomic density already 2.3 into 10 to the power 22. Refractive index 1.46. Dielectric constant 3.9. Excellent electrical insulator resistivity, which rho is greater than 10 to the power 20 ohm centimeter. Energy gap 8 to 9 electron volt. High breakdown electrical when the greater than 10 to the power 7 volt per centimeter. So this in this figure we are saying this one is a silicon wafer. When the oxidation process occurs, so then it will be create some this type of oxidation layer. So this is called silicon dioxide layer, which is created on the silicon wafer. So how we separating silicon and silicon interfacing? Practically we are seeing that this one is a thermal oxide amorphous and the silicon substrate single crystal. This one is a part is a show single crystal, and this one is part of show thermal oxide. And we can say that is a silicon dioxide layer which is amorphous. So it's clearly visible that the crystal will be shown in the crystal form, and amorphous is like some merged form. The perfect interface between silicon and silicon dioxide is one major reason why silicon is used for semiconductor device instead of germanium, because it easily interfacing provide between silicon and silicon dioxide layer. So application of silicon dioxide in the IC industry. So what are the applications of silicon dioxide in the IC industry? So they are showing that field oxide, masking oxides, pad oxide, gate oxide, chemical oxide. These are the practical application where we can use silicon dioxide layer by thermally growing. This one is show is a 1 micrometer silicon field oxide, 0.1 micrometer masking oxide, 10 nanometer pad oxides, and 1 nanometers to chemical oxides from cleaning native oxides. So we can say that in a nanotechnology we also use a thermal dioxide layer or silicon dioxide layer. So from micrometer to nanometer we are using silicon dioxide layer, and it works very perfectly. Backend insulator between metal layers, that is STI, that's shallow trans oscillation, and masking oxides. Very good etching selectivity between silicon and silicon dioxide using HF. HF is a hafnium dip, that CIS, silicon dioxide and silicon. Next, this is one is a show the local oxidation of silicon. Si2 pad, we are showing the silicon wafer layer. Si2 pad is showed. When the silicon etching is here, then it will be remove the Si2 layer from there. Oxidation occurs, then it will create some silicon dioxide layer and a nitride removal here. So silicon dioxide and silicon nitride both are the dielectric materials, and dielectric both are behaved as a dielectric. So we are removing dielectric materials, silicon nitride, so by using oxidation process. Here we are showing some structure of amorphous tetrahedral network and oxygen for oxygen materials. This is the basic structure of silicon atoms. Tetrahedral bonds to 4 oxygen lever. 1, 2, 3, 4 oxygens are connected with the single silicon. This is a bridging oxygen and non-bridging oxygen material we are showing. This one is a part is a bridging oxygen. This one is a part we are showing not bridging. They are in bridging. We are saying there are more than 2 oxygen atoms are connected to each other. In there are only non-bridging. They are not connected properly in way. So this is a yellow, blue part is a show oxygen, and this one part is a silicon. So the structure of silicon on silicon dioxide and some silicon atoms have a dangling bond. So next is what is the difference between dry oxidation and wet oxidations. So dry oxidation are using oxygen, silicon are connected with this oxygen and formation of silicon dioxide, and in this wet oxidation we are using water vapors, and then we are using silicon and water interact each other, react with each other, then formation of silicon dioxide and hydrogens. Then density oxide forms. Density oxide form good quality, low diffusions. Overall reactions is good, and its lower quality species diffuses faster. Still good quality compared to the electrochemical oxidation, for examples. And need to copper water for the system is its faster growth rate. So we are using. This is the dry oxidation, and this is one is the wet oxidation. So today we are discussing about what is the oxidation, how it will be work in fabrication process, and what is the difference between dry oxidation and wet oxidation. Thank you so much.